What's good, guys? It's me, Gerald the Weep here, back again with another video. Okay, this is What If Bell Went to Overlord Part 2. So, hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys want to. And, yeah, let's get straight into the video. Last time, Ainz was trying to figure out how to help Bell to go back to his own world, but he wants to do something else with Bell. You'll see in the video. Okay, sorry for the bad edit. Okay, a lot of things happen. When I made the intro, a lot of things my okay, I'm explaining this badly. Anyway, so like I was saying, Ainz is supposed to help Bell go back to his other world, but he has another plan, and the kingdom of Altaria. I can't remember the kingdom. Not the whole kingdom. It's just one of the princes. From season 3 of Overlord is attacking the village where Bell is. And Bell has to get ready to defend the village. And he gets into his post with the goblins, and he sees a whole army, and they fire a warning shot. And Bell says, "What the heck is wrong with them? They don't even know they could have injured or killed someone with that shot." This is what Bell is saying. He pulls out his dagger, and he doesn't know who's this kingdom is. And the prince says, and yeah, like I was saying, the prince, I had to edit. My brother came in. So like the prince said, please let us in. You guys this is around our area or property area. We would like to do more. We would like to do renovations. I can't remember what exactly he said. He just wanted to attack them. But he's just making an excuse, basically. Bell says to them, he says, there's someone who already owns this land. It's Ainz Ogon. I don't think he would like for any visitors at this time. He doesn't have any ambassadors. This is what Bell says. So you have to come back at a different time. And this is a warning to you. And Bell says this in a nervous voice. And the leader, Henry is the leader because she's the new captain. Comes up and says the exact same thing basically. And the prince of Altaria says, "That's not a good choice. Attack them then." He said he'll be attacking. And Bell hears this and he says, "What?" And he's like in shock that a whole kingdom is going to be attacking a small village just for not allowing them to come in, even though it's not their territory. And they start to fire arrows, and Bell starts to say, fire the arrows back. He's not trying to kill anyone, but a couple of the knights get hit and they are bleeding out, and Bell's like, "Ah, crap, I never thought I would have to kill people." Bell, this will technically be Bell's first time killing people, so he's not into like doing that. But he has to, or he'll get murdered because there's a war happening now. So Bell shoots a fireball to like try to drive them away to make them think they have more mages. But the prince brought a lot more mages than Bell can handle. And he says, "Oh my goodness, there's so many mages and they're shooting." And they get closer and closer to the tower. And he tells Henry and everyone else to retreat and let the goblins and him handle it. He picks up an arrow because he doesn't want to go all the way down there and start attacking them. So he picks up an arrow and starts shooting. He shoots 5 of them in the leg, and they keep marching onto the small village. And he sees that he's all the way high up, and he sees behind him that they're flanking. The prince is flanking them, so he went all the way around, and that's where Henry and all the other villagers were like heading to retreat. I mean, half of them were going to stay and fight with Bell, and the other half was going to retreat. But now they're encircled, and Bell was like, "Oh my goodness, there's no way we can win this." As soon as this happen, Bell pulls out his dagger and he says to the goblins to retreat. He's gonna just attack them head on and make them. He'll hold them off for now. They won't. They can't kill him because he thinks he's a higher level than them. Because they look like they're just foot soldiers, so he thinks they're like level 1 or 2. So you think he can handle at least some of them. But as he jumps down, he hears a horn sound, and there he pauses for a second after hearing this horn sound. He doesn't know what it is, but he hears more battling and explosions happen behind the village, and he's like, "What is that noise?" He then refocuses and then charges at the prince's army, and he cuts 5 people in the gut and then kicks one guy in the face, and they all start to encircle him, and they all try to stab him, but he uses a firebolt on I guess his electricity firebolt, and it hits 10 people, and they all start to back away from him, and they try to let the mages handle him by shooting their magic. They tried to shoot fireballs at him, but he's too fast and he's able to dodge them. As this is happening, Bell Bell is running towards like the center to try to capture the king, not the king, the prince. As he's running forward, my dog was like growling. I was like, "What's up with him?" He's just playing with a toy. Okay, anyway, like I was saying, Bell basically was just charging at the prince. He then is able to jump over the most of the army, and then is able to stab the prince right in the shoulder, and then put the dagger right up to his neck. And he says, "Back off, retreat now, or your prince will die." And every single one of them think that Bell hasn't really killed anyone. He's just injured them. He doesn't. They don't think he will actually kill him. And the prince says, "Attack him." But Bell says, "Oh yeah." He then stabs him in the shoulder 3 times, and he says, "Back off right now. Retreat." And Bell's warning makes them like back off and retreat. And the prince says, "What are you doing? Don't back off. What are you doing?" This is what the prince is saying. I forgot what the prince's name is. You guys can't probably see him because my computer is like being booty. It's like straight up booty. Like it's too old. It can't keep up. I don't know. I have another computer, a new computer. I don't know if I'm gonna use that. I might start using that for software. I just need to download a new software update system so I can upload on there. I'll figure out how to do that by at least next Saturday or this Saturday. It depends. Actually, I won't make a video on Thursday or Friday. I'll figure out how to just fix that so I can do that for you guys. Okay, anyway, so back to the video. So Bell basically says, "Yeah, you guys better run." He's like, Bell is like pretty scared that he thought he was gonna die for a second, but the goblin army, Enri summoned goblins with her. She has, I'm pretty sure I mentioned she has something around her neck from Ainz. I don't know if I mentioned this in part 1 but I'm mentioning it now. Sorry if I didn't mention that in part 1. She has a horn she can call to summon goblins, and they all come around and see this. And the prince says, he gets down on his knee and says, "Look, listen, I surrender." And the goblins were not having that, and they said, "What is your name?" And Bell said his name is Bell Cornell. "Who are you?" And he said, the goblins said they were reinforcements for Mrs. Henry. And the goblin says, "We captured the prince, so just execute him." And Bell says, "Execute him? What do you mean, execute him?" Henry is on the other side, so she doesn't see what's going on. "We killed the others. We're going," and the captain of the goblins sent off other goblins to go kill the rest of the people. They're stabbing the people that Bell injured, and he sees this and he says, "Jeez Louise." And he doesn't say anything because they were the ones that attacked, so he can't really defend them. He says we can just negotiate with the kingdom or something. And Henry said nothing about saving the captain, that prince's life. So we're going to kill him. And Bell says we can negotiate more. And the goblins start to walk up closer to Bell. And Bell shoots a fireball. He says, "Wait, we can negotiate, like I said." And yeah, as this is happening, Henry walks all the way around and sees that Bell is shooting at them, and she runs towards him and tries to like stop the goblins, and says, "We should just capture him." And they then listen to her, and the prince gets captured, but you'll see what happens to him. So Bell is like, "Geez, Louise, all that happened in just 3 weeks." So it's now been a couple of days after rebuilding. He's figured out more about the country through the prince, and Beta shows up, and she asks for that prisoner, and Bell brings him, and he explains what he learned from the kingdom to Beta, and she is very very shocked by this, how he was able to capture this whole army with just only with only just the goblins, with a little bit of help with the goblins, because he mostly dealt with the front army, you could say, because they had to split in two to flank them. Oh my goodness, my computer turned off. Oh my goodness. No, no. I forgot what I was talking about. I think I was talking about, like, I had to edit myself out because my computer turned off. I think yeah, we're talking about Beta. I'm pretty sure you guys should remember from the last part. Yeah, she then figures out a lot more information from Belle, and she then pulls out her a sword, and she slices the prince's throat right in front of Belle, and Belle is shocked by this, and he says, "Why did you do that?" And he tries to save the prince's life. He says, "You didn't have to kill him." He's like in shock by this. Why would? And she says, Ainz wants to see an audience with you. He's an enemy. We're going to go to war with their kingdom anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And she then walks away. And Belle was the only one that saw that because he was. Okay, my dog started barking. Oh my goodness. It's like all these bad edits just keep happening. I'm so sorry. Okay, so like I was saying, Belle gets told that he has to get an audience with Ainz, and he really wants to get out of this place. So he finally thinks that he's finally gonna leave. So they all get teleported. Henry, her sister, and oh my, I can't forget it. You know the doc. He's the medicine guy from the first part too. The person Ainz saved. Is creating medicine, and they all get summoned to Ainz, and Bell sees Nazarick, and he sees how big it is, and he says, "Oh my God, it's a whole kingdom." He's never seen something so big before, because there's no really big kingdoms like that. There's like big districts with the goddesses, but goddesses and gods, yeah, same thing. Okay, but they weren't that big. He says, "Jesus." I keep saying "Jeez Louise." Bell wouldn't say that. He says, "Oh my, oh my." What? I don't know what Bell would say. Don't ask me. Jeez, stop judging me. Okay. I need to stop joking. These are bad jokes. Okay, so Bell is like in surprised by this, but he sees that everyone is giving him a mean eye. Besides one person that was saved recently, she greets Bell and says, "Well, it's nice to see another human." She says she says this in a joking way, and Belle says, "They're not human," and she says, "I have to go back to cleaning." You'll figure out more about her. I mean, she's important to season 3 because of the old butler dude. I can't remember his name, but he comes out and says, "You have an audience with Ainz. He's over. You have to keep straight, and then you'll see him in the main hall, where his throne is." And Belle says, "Okay, thank you." And Belle keeps walking, and Henry and her sister and the medicine dude. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna remember his name for the next part. Anyway, Belle walks in and he says, "You finally called on me. It's been over a month. Does it really take that long to take over a kingdom?" And Ein says, "Yes, it does take that long. We took over small districts, but we can finally go after that big kingdom now." So I figured out some more information. This is what Ainz is saying. And Alberto was about to say something to Belle, but Ainz stopped her. Stopped him. Stop. Ah! As I was saying, Alberto was gonna basically get mad at Belle, but Ainz stopped her. Belle says he's been waiting for over a month. Has he finally got any information? And Ainz figured out how to get to Belle back to his world. He says, "I finally got back there, but I don't know what year or day it is." And Belle's like, "What do you mean the year and day? You don't, you can't. What?" This shocks Belle, and Henry Nifria is the medicine dude, and Emu, I think that's her younger sister. All come in and hear that Belle might be leaving, and they say um oh, they can't believe that he's already leaving. And Belle says he doesn't want to leave either because they're good people, but he has to at least make sure his friends are all right. He will come back if he's able to, but he wants to make sure they're all right. But now he doesn't know. He thinks they're most definitely dead now. He doesn't have any, like, his hope is starting to fade. But at least he thinks his goddess is hope mostly alive. He thinks because Ein said there he doesn't know the day or year it is. So Belle says, "What do you think I should do then? Can I wait? Should I wait a little longer, or maybe um can you rewind the time period or something? If you maybe I can go back to then." Um, that's what Belle was saying. But Ein says, "No. You'll then meet your younger self or something like that. I don't know. You might die or something, or you might kill your younger self. Who knows? And then you'll come back here again. You might not remember what happened." So Belle says, "Fine. Just send me there. If when you can." And Ein says, "I'm ready to do it right now. But you'll be going with someone." He's going with Doppelganger. So basically, that's technically Ein's creation, you could say, but it's not technically him. It's basically like a clone, you could say, of him. He has basically every single attribute of Doppelganger, but it's not really him because he has to stay an overlord. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So Belle says goodbye to them, and he tries to shake Ein's hand, but Albedo smacks her hand away, and smacks Belle's hand away, and Belle says, "You're the most meanest woman I have ever met." And he says, "Hopefully you'll be nicer to me next time if we ever see each other again." She says, "A human shouldn't be touching Lord Ainz." And Belle says, "Ainz used to be human. I can tell." And Ainz tries to shut up Belle, but Belle says, "Oh, never mind. Like I said, he was human at one time. I know of it for sure. He used forbidden magic to turn himself immortal, or he messed up a spell or something. This was probably before you were created or something." And Alberto thinks Belle is lying. But Ein says, "Hurry up and go in the portal before you make her even more angry." And Belle says, "Fine." And he waves goodbye and he walks straight into the portal. and he's back where he originally fell at. But it's actually been a year since then, and the monster has been defeated by this might sound weird. Eyes, not eyes. Eyes. Eyes is this is back to Bell's world. Eyes is a very powerful swordsman and a part of the Loki familia. Basically another goddess, but it's just not Hestia. And Bell says, "Doppelganger is your name, right? I think we're still on the same level I was a couple of weeks, like a month ago. I think we should go ahead towards the surface." And Doppelganger says, "My mission is to keep going down into the dungeon and clear it." And Bell says, "There's over 100 levels. There's no way we can do it." And Doppelganger says, "Trust me, we can do it. You'll rank up too. I'll make sure you're alright." And Bell says, "No, I want to go back to the surface to make sure they're alright." But but Bell then thinks, he says, "We don't know what time period it is. Maybe it's 10 or 15 or maybe 3 to 4 years after." And Doppelganger says, "You should know someone. Maybe they're down here. We shouldn't go back up to the surface yet. What happened if they already cleared the dungeon? We don't know. You don't know how many years it's been." So Doppelganger then goes, "Well, I don't think you're strong enough to handle them all by yourself. I'm going this way, down into the dungeon. I think I can handle them." He says, "Fine, I'm going with you, but I can barely hold them off." And Doppelganger says, "Don't worry. Ainz, before left, gave you a level boost. We have magic that can do that in our world." And Bell says, "What? What do you think? What level I am now?" And he says, "Whatever level system you have here. We times it by 2, basically." So basically, Bell would be about level. I think he was like level 4, so he should be about level 6 now with that level booster. And he says, "Wow, well, that was a little bit too easy." He thinks he's not level 6, but technically, he would with Also, I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to mention this. Ainz put, like I said, put a marker on him to give him more boosters. So the sword would technically also get more boosters too. So it has basically a chant. It can't be. His sword has been enchanted. It can't be broken. It has more agility into the sword and him, and he has like basically agility means better dodging, and he can, when near death, he can power up more, basically. So yeah, so they go deeper and downer into the dungeon. And Belle was like, "Geez Louise, I can't believe this is happening." And as Belle goes deeper and downer into the dungeon, he barely runs into any monsters he couldn't handle. He handles them pretty easily, and he sees the moss monster that separated him from his friends, and he tells Doppelganger to get back, and he goes to attack it. This isn't the same one because that one was killed a year ago, like I said. And Bell then slices it in half easily. He doesn't even need to use a firebolt. Oh my goodness. Okay, they were just barking. Sorry about that. So as Bell is slicing through them easily, he hears someone screaming. And Bell sees that it's Aisha. Okay, Aisha, it was a part of his group. Technically a part of in part 1, she was basically a part of the group that went down to the dungeon to go to the lower levels. But like I said, he got separated, and she was around the same level as him. But she would technically just she would not be the same level as Bell now because Bell got attributes boosters. I don't know why I was struggling to say that word. Yeah, so Ainz, like she's basically a part of Loki. She went on a mission with Loki's familia, so that's why she's down there. but she got separated and she ran into a boss. And Bell sees this and he shoots. He sees that this is a boss. He shoots a firebolt right at the back of this main level boss. I forgot the name of it. I fought it in like the spin-off series. I can't remember the name of it, but it's that. That's what Bell's fighting. If you know what I'm talking about. So basically, it's a very tall. It's like a tight. I wouldn't say a titan tall, but it's tall. It's tall. If you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. So Bell then shoots a firebolt. His first level 7 firebolt, and it destroys half of its body. And Doppelganger then uses the enchanted swords and cuts the rest of it in half and destroys it with fire. And Aisha is shocked by this. This looks like Belle, and she hasn't seen him in I would say 2 years. Let's just give or take. Yeah, I'll do that because I don't know what happens in those 2 years. I'll read the manga or something. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, she's shocked by this, and she's injured pretty badly. And she says, "How are you alive? You're." And Belle says, "What happened to everyone else?" And she says, "It's been years since we last seen you. The people that were injured in the party didn't make it, but our original party." Oh my god. My god. Okay. Oh my. Seriously. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why they're barking. They should be asleep by now. It's like 9:52. Okay, so like I was saying, Belle was saying, like, so the people that we were trying to save didn't make it, and Aisha says yes to that. But they were luckily able to save everyone in their party, original party. And they found a cure for the person that got injured. And that's why Belle got separated. But she then asks, "Who is this guy in this armor?" And he introduces himself as an adventurer, and he's a S class or something. She says, "Never heard of you." And Belle was about to say Doppelganger, but he then changes his name to just say I'll just refer to him as Doppelganger, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure I already said his name. He's the Elgon or something from Overlord, but it's just Doppelganger. So I'll just refer to him as Doppelganger. Anyway, so she says Eyes is over at the middle level. They've made it to level 60 now. And we should hurry back there. There's a meeting point there where there's people there. Where people are like they built up a settlement on a middle level, so like where you can rest. So Belle says Eyes is there. Then I can we're getting really close to the finishing up the dungeons then. And Doppelganger says, "You said there was 100 levels." And Belle was saying, "I lied. There's only maybe up to 75, or maybe there's 100. We don't know. But we at least know it's up to 75 levels." And he says, "Okay, we'll keep going until we can't defeat them." And Aisha says, "You should go back to the surface. You shouldn't keep being in the dungeon. But you still haven't explained to me, why are you here now? Where were you?" And Belle says he went to a different world. And this she starts walking away from this, and Belle tried to explain more, but she says we shouldn't be out in the open. And they start walking back to this to the camp where it's at. And she says, "So you said you went to a different world for multiple years now, and you couldn't get back. How did you even get back in the first place? What time period did you go to? Where?" And Belle says he doesn't know if it was the future or the past, but he thinks it was the future because all the goddesses were dead or something. And Doppelganger is just quiet. He's just listening in. And as this a couple like an hour passes, and oh my goodness, Lola, shush. Oh my goodness. Okay, like I was saying, Bell sees he never went down this far before, and because he's level 7, he could get down a lot more further. But he's not as skilled as Eyes would be if she was like a level 7. Basically, she could probably still beat him up. I'm just saying. So yes, he sees this metal floor, level 55. I'm pretty sure one of the levels are 55 or something. One of those levels are a midpoint. And he sees he sees Eyes and Loki's familia. They all see Bell walking with Aisha, and they say they were in shock by this because Bell has been he disappeared multiple years ago, and they were all shocked by this. And Eyes walks over there and pokes him and says, "Okay, he's real. It's not an illusion." And Bell says, "How many years has it been? I really would like to know." And Eyes says it's been 2 years. And she says, "You should be going back up to the surface. Why do you keep going down?" And Bell says, like, "I've become a lot stronger. I want to keep going down. Let me join up with you. We could maybe finish the dungeons." And Ein says, "You are only a level 4. You couldn't have gotten that strong in just 2 years." And Doppelganger says he leveled up twice since then. And Bell was like, "Yep, I leveled up." And everyone is shocked by this. So this would make Bell a level 6, but he can probably technically be a level 7, technically, but he's basically level 6. And Ainz is surprised by this, and she is like, "How are you a level 6 now? If you weren't fighting in the dungeons?" So basically, Bella just explains what happened to him. And yeah, they said to at least go back to the surface. They won't allow him to join. And he says, "What?" They'll send a company with him to go back to the surface so he won't go alone. But he says no. He says no to that. He says he's strong enough with just the two of them. And Aisha says, "I'll be seeing you up in the surface soon." And Bell then waves and he says, "I'll be going back now." But Doppelganger was like trying to keep prying to let them go further, but he doesn't want to attack the people in this world to keep going forward. So Bell goes back up to the surface, and yes, and that will take I think about a week, over a week or a couple of days at least, to go back to the surface. And as Bell makes it back to the surface, he then remembers one of the monsters he met a long time ago. And he says he didn't see her, so maybe she might still be alive and still in hiding. This is what he's saying in his head. It's Winry, but she's basically from season 3, but she'll show up later on in the future when we go back down to the dungeon. Anyway, uh, um, Belle keeps walking out of the dungeon, and everyone that is surrounded by the dungeon sees this and all look at him. He says, "I've only been gone for a year. Stop looking at me." He's saying this in his mind, and Doppelganger says, "Where are we heading to now?" He says to Hestia's Familia, and this is where I'll be leaving off for this part. So we'll see how they react to Bell coming back after a couple of years, and Bell will be having danger coming towards him for the next part. This part is like him leveling up, and he's like a lot more stronger because of the enchantments he got from Ainz. So he was able to defeat a monster, and he's basically what he would be. Bell's not level 7 or level 6. I think not in the novel. I think he's probably like level 5. He might be a 6. I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the part. I have to end it because It's about to be like 10 o'clock and I need to go to bed. Okay, peace out, guys. Sorry for the bad edits. Yeah, bye. I said bye. Why are you still watching? Uh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, bye. It's not closing out. This is awkward. I'm not gonna edit this out.